Hello everybody and a very warm welcome, literally a very warm welcome to Crafters TV. My name is Ben Moseby. How are you? I hope your Friday is going well. It's all good here in the northeast. The sun is out, the sky is blue, it is warm, it's Friday, the weekend is almost here. It's a bring your dog to work day. We've had dogs in, we've had sausage catching champions. I mean, it's all going on. We've got Friday Night Live coming up for you a little bit later on as well. I think fast becoming everybody's favourite show of the week, and we have got a brand new launch for you. Now, our wake-up call shows that we do are generally just about kind of giving you a bit of a sneak peek, giving you a heads up as to the launch, ahead of the launch show, which is now. This Watercolor Fusion launch that we've got for you, this showstopper, has absolutely flown out of the door. 15% of a huge showstopper stock has already gone, and the magic element and the magic part of this, your Shadow Mark ink pad, 30% of the stock has already gone. If you missed the show earlier and you haven't seen any of Sheena's lives and you have no inkling as to what is coming, then you are about to have your mind blown. Over the course of that wake-up call show, I've been presenting in craft for about 8 years now, saw something that I'd never seen before, and I think the majority of you were like that too, hence the reason why hundreds and hundreds of you shopped during that show. We will say hello to a few of you in just a few moments' time. We've got Radical Rachel on the socials, but before all of that, in a minute, we will say hello to Sheena, but not right now, because the Gremlins are being naughty again, and they are messing with our cameras. So I'll tell you what we'll do. Shall I say a few hellos? Are we going to have to reset? I'll say a few hellos, and then we might have to do this as a false start and start again. But in already is Lois, who says, hello from Ohio. Hi to Jeffrey Langley, who says, happy Friday, Ben. To Sheena, Molly, and the fabulous crew. Molly, who's gone home, she's had her best day. And you know the most hilarious thing? I got home, I took Molly back, because as you know, I live 5 minutes away. I took Molly home, and I said to Laura, my wife, I said, Molly was brilliant, you should have seen her. She was like, I did see her. I was like, what? I said, oh no, we watched. I said, you watched? Yeah, Daisy found the channel. In the 4 years that I've been here at Crafters TV, Laura has never watched. The first time my dog is on the channel, she watches. Outrageous, eh? I'll say a few more hellos in just a few moments' time. In fact, let me keep saying a few more hellos. Alison says, hi again from a hot and sticky New York. Good day to spend indoors with Crafters TV and friends. Lisa Beecham says, howdy, crafty friends. Howdy. Hi to Emma Thrower, who says hello. Wendy Myers is with us saying, happy day to everyone. I saw Wake Up Call and it was fantastic. There's everything you want from a Wake Up Call and more, isn't it? Hi to Melanie D. And also hi to Chantal, who says, I got home to Australia after 2 weeks in Bali and finally got my 6x6 special papers box. Hubby's rolling his eyes at my giggles of glee whilst looking through the box. Listen, we are having a few tech gremlins. It's because you guys are so busy for this Watercolor Fusion collection. So we are going to reset. We're going to come back once we've kicked the cameras, and we'll see you. Ramona Ellis says hi from Florida. Oh, you back? Oh, sorry, I didn't realise you'd been away. I was still... Oh, you mean we've been off, have we? I've been sorry everybody. Welcome back. Bit of a false start to launch day. It's because it's so busy. That's what it is. I won't repeat everything I just said because I think you pretty much heard everything I said at the start of the false start. So let's introduce you to the lady who's going to take you through all of the magic. She is the crafty magician, the one and only Sheena Douglass. I mean, if Wake Up Call is anything to go by, Sheena, this is going to be a busy show because everybody is wowed by this collection. And in particular, this.
Well, yes, that small, mighty and powerful little ink pad.
Yeah.
Because without that, none of the rest would work. And you know what? When do you ever see anything completely new in the craft?
I know.
It's, 10, 15 years ago, there was lots of stuff that was, we hadn't seen before. It has been a while, but this is new. And if you haven't seen it and you're a stamper, keep watching. That's all I'm saying. It is magic. It's a game changer. As a designer, I've got so many ideas going forward. This is just the start. This is just the beginning. In
essence, and in my small brain, this is how I would describe it. If you are someone who stamps and you like the look of the stamps here, and actually, well, this relates to any stamps as we found out in the last show, but if you want to stamp but then make it look like you're a watercolor artist, this is what you need in your life. And if you're saying to me, hang on a minute, what are you going on about? How does that work? I didn't understand either until Wake Up Call, and now I truly understand why so many people have bought the showstopper, and actually why so many people are going for the showstopper and then adding more of these ink pads into their carts, into their baskets. Let's just should we quickly get the details up and then go with Sheena, because we're at £112 or £144, and I'll go through it in more detail, but you're going to get all of the fantastic stamps. You are going to get your watercolour pad. You are also going to get within your set your fine spray mister, which is I think one of the most smart misters I've ever seen. You're getting your 48 colour watercolour palette. You're getting a mixing palette, 5 brushes, and the magic, and that's all I'm going to refer to it as. This is the magic. So all of that in the showstopper. If you're someone who's already bought the stamps, which I know a lot of you have, you can get everything individually. Multi-order the magic, because that is what you're going to want to have lots of. Let's talk to Sheena about the magic. The magic, right. Well, first of all, let me show you what the magic looks like. So if you're a stamper, you'll have seen and you'll have tried the no-line stamping technique, which basically means you find the lightest ink pad you can find, you stamp with it, and the hope is that you don't see it, but you see it enough to follow the line to colour it in. And the idea being that it doesn't look like a stamp, it just looks like you've watercoloured it or coloured it in, or whatever your colouring medium is. Now, if you look at these samples here, and if you can get in as close as you want, tell me you can see any outside stamp line on either of those samples, and they're both the same stamp from this collection, by the way. Unreal, isn't it? It's just ridiculous. Both the same stamp, by the way, different interpretation, one by Lisa, one by Debbie. Completely different, but no indication, not even a hint, a soupçon or a whisper of an ink line. That's the difference. It's not a kind of work around a little bit of a line there. There's just no line there. Let me show you. Do you want to see a quick demonstration? Shall we just get straight in there with just let's not even mess around, let's just show you. Piece of watercolour card. I have the magic ink pad here. Let me grab a stamp, just any stamp. In fact, bear with, because I want to just show you that leaf stamp again. I'm going to find the leaf stamp, because this is a great one to show you why you would want this as well for in other situations. So let's use a different leaf. Let's use that one there. So let me just take that on there, pop that ink on there, which is a very pale, kind of bluey, pale cornflowery kind of blue. It's just dark enough. When I was testing these ink pads, there was different colours I was given, and this is the one I chose. It's dark enough to see, but not that dark that it interferes with what you're going to stamp. So you can just see the line there, and that's all you need to see. So say this could be any stamp that you have in your collection. It could be a daisy in amongst a display of a full bouquet, and you just want the daisy. It could be a house in the hills and things going on, but you just want the house or the cottage. In this case, I'm just going to say I don't want that leaf there. I just want to stop at this leaf here. Yeah? And I maybe don't even want, just let's not paint that last leaf.
So I'm just going to take my watercolours here and I'm just speed watercolouring. When we get onto a proper demonstration, I'm going to be going through all of this in slower time for you, and we'll take a bit of time and we'll talk about that a little bit more properly in a sec. So if you want to just paint that like this, and we'll paint that like that, and then we'll paint this like that, and maybe that one there, and then that one there. And then I might want to just drop a little bit of a darker green just in there, just like this. So I've got a nice little leaf thing going on there, and I'll join them up. And this guy I don't even want. Yeah, that I don't want him at all. So I'm going to get my heat gun.
Here we
Keep
go.
watching, because
Here
this
we
is
go.
all going to happen quite quickly, especially with this top one. Heat gun on, right? Okay, watch. Ready, go.
Boom.
And where did the rest of it go on those leaves? Where's the stamp gone?
It's like
Have I used a stamp? Have I
great
just
soprendo,
free
piff,
hand
paff, puff.
painted some leaves?
Incredible.
What? Mic drop.
Thank you very much. Good night.
I'm gone now. Thanks, that's me done. I'm on my way back south to Evesham. But seriously, no, there's so much more. Because here's the thing. In order for background story, I've been asking for someone to give me, can you make me a disappearing ink pad?
Yeah.
Some have tried, all have failed. Until
Today.
Zig, to my zag. The Chivmeister, Leanne
The
herself,
Chivmeister.
The Chivmeister.
Right.
She did. She brought it. She said, "What colour do you want?" And I went, "That one, because that's great." So I tested them. I can't believe it. Which means, as a designer, now I can do more things. I can bring you watercolour fusion, because with watercolour, you're going to see a line. Watercolour is painted with water. Any ink pad will show a line, unless you've got a disappearing ink, and that then allowed me to bring this collection to you. See how it works? That one pivotal, massive game changer there is going to allow a whole new technique, collection, more things we've got in the pipeline, more things in my head, more things you can do at home with your stamps.
I'll take you through the showstopper quickly and read a few comments. Jade B, I love your comment. She says, that is proper magic. I'll take 10.
You better be quick.
Hey, I'm not even joking you, buy 10, because once they're gone, you know it's going to be one of those things, we're going to take ages to get back in, you just know it, because it's something that everybody wants. Over 30%, I think actually a third of the stock of the ink pad on its own is gone. It will be good for the bold florals too, says Wendy Graham. Cannot wait for my delivery to arrive. Trish, hi Ben, Sheena, the team, and all the wonderful crafters. I've been looking forward to this launch all month. Dawn LaValle has ordered the pre-stamp pad and 2 disappearing inks. We've got questions coming in. We'll tackle those as we go. On my wish list, says Polly. Sheena is a rock star, says Sandy. Hi all, couldn't make this morning, I was at work, but I'll watch it later, says Karen Hughes. And I cannot wait for the shows, says Jeanette. Love watching Sheena in action. Jeffrey Langley's placed an order. Ramona's in from Florida. I'll really whiz through this because you want to see this in action. You don't want to listen to me rabbiting on about what's in the deal, but just so that you know the showstopper, all of the stamps you're going to get right. So you get a selection of beautiful sentiments in there, things like enjoy every moment, lots of love, happy birthday, and then all of these fantastic florals. There's wildflowers in here. Wildflower.
Make my heart sing.
You've got foliage, as Debbie Robinson would say, foliage fillers. You've got beautiful roses in here. We had Rose Lippett buying this one earlier, saying that she loved the actual design of the rose, but also the fact that she's now got her name in stamp form as well.
There you go. There you go. Perfect.
You've got your chrysanthemum. You've got Daisy and also Wild Rose. Wild Rose! And then the beautiful Peony. All of those stamps are included in the bundle. Don't forget, you're also going to get everything this side too. So one of the most rock star-ish of misters I've ever seen with your fine spray mister. You've got Magic. You've got your 48 colour watercolour palette included there as well. That's actually got like a little mixing palette built into the tin itself, but then you get a separate mixing palette, and you get your 5 brushes included in there as well. Sizes 0, 3, 5, 8 and 10, I think it is from memory. Yeah, and you've got your pad, which has got your watercolour cardstock and also your images in there as well that you can be using. Now, £112 is the platinum price, $144. It is free shipping. Don't forget if you're picking this up today, but if you do decide that you just want to pick and choose, everything is currently available individually. If you're going whole hog and go for the showstopper and you can afford to do so, I'll be popping more of these into your basket. I'm pointing at the ink pads because those are flying. People multiple ordering. I've seen people saying I bought 3, 4, 5. Jane B said she was going to order 10. So that will go. So get it whilst you can, because that's what's going to perform the magic for you. And this is it, isn't it, Sheena? And you said this earlier on about, you know, stampers becoming watercolour artists. And I truly believe, looking at this from a very beginnery sort of standpoint and from someone who likes to have a go, this is now something that everybody can achieve, isn't it?
Everybody, and that's what I love, because that's going to take you might have been making cards for a while now, you might have been paper crafting for a while now, and you might have been scared of colouring until you started watching Crafters TV, and you started watching Leanne, and you started watching the shows, and you've got more comfortable. You started with your pens, then you went a little bit with your aqua pens, and then you're getting more confident, and you're realising it's not as scary as I thought.
Yeah.
And so that boundary, that bridge, that thing to cross between crafting and art is becoming more blurred all the time, and you can use what you've got to just then move into that's what we're doing. This is art, and the idea is you can then sell these things, and the products that we're using today are going to be archival. So when you're using your dye-based products like your aqua pens and your inks and things, they're dye, so they're for cards, for things that are going to be used and then not used again. If you want to sell things and put it on the wall and make artwork and put it and hang it in your home, you want pigment based, and you want artist quality pigment based, which has a light faster rate as well, which is what we're coming to with the paint. So when you're thinking about that bundle, just know everything in there is not being compromised on anything. Do you want to see some samples?
Yeah.
Right, so let's start with this one here. This is the daisy and the wild rose. So everything's modular, everything's in a separate bit. So there's the heads of the flowers and then there's the leaves. So you can put them in any configuration you want. So this is the one here that Debbie's created with the wild roses and her style of painting. And we're going to show you my style of painting, and I'm going to be doing more lives and things on Facebook, and there's already one up there for you to watch on there. And there'll be more as I paint through. But look at how Lisa's version of that is totally different, but different styles. But again, not a hint of a look of a stamp line there, which is phenomenal. And no masking. None of this will have been masked. None of that. No masking fluid, no paper masks, nothing like that.
We are so busy, just to let you know. I'm hearing figures in my ears like I
missed that.
We are just very busy, Sheena, is all I'll say. Very busy.
Talking. Okay, just carry on, Douglas, carry on, as you were. But okay, carrying on.
Carrying on.
Right. So this is the present. I should show you, by the way, look, this is how they started. I painted them, yeah? Watercolour card, and actually the same watercolour card that you're going to be getting in that book that's coming up. So just know everything is my picky quality, right? And quality comes first for me. Don't compromise on quality. Then look at getting it down, the price down. Start with the quality, then come down where you can on the price. Next one, look at these two. Lisa's, Julie's.
Both brilliant.
Both gorgeous. Completely different, and that's what watercolour fusion's about. But I'm going to talk to you how you can choose the look you want and how you're going to control that Ferrari of the paint set that you've got there.
That's it.
We're not talking we're not talking the Trotter three-wheeler special. We are talking Ferrari.
Yes, I love that.
Absolutely. And then we've got the rose. Well, the rose. You love roses. People love roses, do you not? Right, check this out. Look at that. How gorgeous is that? They're just people, you know, they usually have a lot of sentiment involved with roses, you know, like with couples, you know, maybe you know, Maria's dad used to always buy her mum yellow roses, so I did a painting of a yellow rose for her, and it's always on the fireplace now as a reminder. Yeah, it's a really nice thing. So things like that, you know, these are keepers, these are go on the wall, and not just for cards. So you make them for cards, absolutely, but then you're going to again put them in frames and gift them. Right, then we've got the wildflowers. So these are just little baby flowers that you can paint however. That could be it could be a bluebell, it could be a foxglove, depending on how you paint it. The cornflower is going to change, but depending on how you paint it. I love this. This is just that one little flower there, that little wild little flower there. Like it could be a little primrosey type one. And Debbie's just drawn a circle there. In fact, this is so translucent, this watercolour, and exactly as we wanted it. And the ink, the stamp and the ink has worked so well, you can't see any of the stamp
So
ink.
good.
But what you can see, which I love, is that pencil line that Debbie's drawn to give herself the circle to follow, to stamp around. How amazing is that? That just shows what you're looking at quality-wise, and well, you know, it just works, doesn't it? And then you've got the little one like this, just a simple, just one of the elements, or you can go for the whole. A whole little garden of elements there, and there's actually another one, and I need to find that where we've mixed it up completely. Then we have the peony, which I love peonies. I just love them. We're going to have to paint with peony this hour as well. Smaller format there, as this is lilies. Yay, Lily, love it. Yeah, it's lilies. And then, and this is lilies had no instruction or nothing from me. That's what Lily's produced just with getting the kit. So no, we haven't had any. We intended to have a little bit of talk, but you know what it's like. We talk about everything else, and then you're just like, what are you going to do? And then, but look how, again, look at Lisa's style to this one. All gorgeous and not one right or one wrong, just completely different. All with the peony here. And then different colours, of course. You can just pop up the colours. And then the last one quickly, foliage. Here's the one I was talking about, the foliage. Love this. So you've got the foliage there, you've got Julie's foliage here, and then you've got the wildflowers and the foliage and the rose all together there for a composition. And that's the idea, make your own compositions. They're the stamps. They're just the stamps. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to have a quick look at the book?
Yeah.
Right, the book. Now here's the thing. The book. There's a name of watercolour paper in the watercolour world that's pretty much seen as the Rolls Royce of your. Well, I'm like a car dealer, aren't I?
I know you are. Rolls Royces, Ferraris.
Yeah. See me for you here. I'll do you a good deal. You know what I mean?
Kick the tyres.
Yeah, really. I wish and if I drove anything like that, you know, hello, name drop.
Don't make out you didn't turn up in a Lamborghini today.
Oh yes, but Peugeot.
Peugeot.
That didn't work yesterday. I had to hire another Peugeot. So anyway, there's one particular brand in watercolour card that all of them watercolour cards are kind of usually measured by, and this card here is as close to that brand without paying the most ridiculous money, and everyone talks about this particular card here, and this is the card that I found, and with Leanne's amazing magic was able to bring to you. And so these are arrangements I've painted. I don't know where the originals are. We'll have to find the originals and show you how they started out. So I painted original full-on bouquets for you. So all the flowers are what you've already got in your stamp. So when you see me painting them, you'll see that you've already got them. So you've got two of everything. There's the rose, it's just a little bit smaller. There's that little wild rose in there. There's all the foliage you've just seen me talking about. You've got two of them. You've got the wild rose again in a big corner arrangement. So all of these arrangements in this pad. But notice how as well you've got a band down here, and you've got a certain size, a very faint line. This is what I requested so that you can trim that to a standard frame size. Yeah. So this is really intended not for cards. This is to put in a frame. You're going to paint that up. You're going to maybe paint it like I have this one. I've got all smudged and got a mark on there, so pretend that's not there. You could maybe brush letter someone's name on there. You could put a photo, whatever on there, put it in a frame, and then that's a gift, or it's sellable. Yeah. And
just feeling this watercolor cardstock, it's like nothing else I've felt before, and I now get the Lamborghini, Ferrari.
Absolutely,
reference.
Ben. If we had like touchy feely telly, you'd get it exactly as Ben said, because card is made of. You know, you may have heard of wood pulp. That's the majority of card, and the card we use in the crafting industry is wood pulp. But then watercolor artists, you'll hear them talk about cotton. And it's either 100% cotton or cotton content. It's a mix of the two. But it's not just about that. It's about, and this is cotton. I don't know if it's 100% or it's definitely got cotton in it. It may even be 100%. But it's not just that, it's size that's in there. It's like a gluey stuff in the card as well that makes your watercolours react a certain way. If it didn't have size in it, when you go to paint on it, it would be like painting on kitchen paper, and it would just go, and it'd be like blotting paper painting on that. All of that makes a watercolour card what it is. And this band along here, that's your little tester band there. That's where you're going to try your colours out.
Oh, I see.
And you see, well, before you paint on your big bit here, you're going to say, oh, that colour right, yeah, and try all out there. But then in the back, we've also got blank cards here for you. So keep this Rolls Royce card here for your posh projects. Keep these bits for your wall art. Use your Crafter's Companion watercolour card for your cards.
So keep this one in the crafty garage is what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Under a nice cover.
That one goes, the other one in like a car-ported best.
Yeah.
This goes in the garage with maybe one of those covers over it.
Yeah.
You know, So, so that's that. And then this is the kind of thing you're going to be painting with it. You can see the girls have made some, my amazing team have just painted some up here so you can see how they look. Imagine that in a frame. That would have to go in a frame. That's too amazing for a card.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's too archival because the paints we've used and the paints I've tried and the paints I've looked into for you, I've requested how light fast these paints are. Because if they're artist quality, each colour is given a light fast rating.
Yeah.
We've even got the light fast rating on all of them, and they're all either excellent or very good light fast rating. They're really, really are excellent quality what you're getting, guys. It's fabulous.
I'm looking at the clock and realising we're like half an hour into the show already. There are so many questions coming in. So should we get into some demos and then do questions as we go? And just whilst Sheena's getting ready, there's so many comments. We're almost, and I will keep updating you on this because as much as that if you can get everything, the magic is in the pad, right? We're in 40%. And I am shocked when I'm telling you that because I know how many we had and it was a lot. So the fact that 40% of, I'm not talking about show stock, I'm talking about 40% of all the stock that we've got at Crafters TV has gone, that's worrying times, particularly for you if you're sat on your hands currently.
That is massively worrying because I want to do loads of shows with this ink pad. I've waited ages to do.
No, I don't think it's going to...
And then we've got to wait for it to get here again, even if it's ordered now.
Multi-order. Jane, I've ordered more of the ink pad. Here we go, the paper pad. Then my friend said she wanted the stamps and the ink. Yes and yes. Jane B, who said she was ordering 10, is ordering now. Did you order 10? How many did you order? Let me know. Jeanette says, bought mine already so I can sit back and enjoy. Cindy Condy's gone for the showstopper. And guess what? An extra ink pad. It's what everybody's doing. Excited for them. And Dawn says, I just got 2. I will have 3 now ink pads. And she says, I've used the ink pad recently and it is amazing. I cannot wait to use them on other stamps. Right. There are lots of questions. One I can answer. Victoria Canabra says, Ben, are you still munching on the wieners? No, there were no wieners left really by the time we got home because there is a wiener muncher, you saw her in the last show, so they're mostly gone. But let's get into it. There's lots of questions and we'll ask as we go. Are we going to start with the magic?
Start with the magic. Right, I need to, should we talk, let me tell you the trick.
Right.
With the magic, with the card.
Yeah.
So, you know what we're saying about card being made up of different things? When I was testing this ink pad, I was testing it with my watercolour card, my cotton, either 100% cotton or cotton mix with watercolour size card. And it was disappearing brilliantly. I mean, you just saw it before your very eyes, how it disappears. That's great, but all cards different. So if you're using a card like Crafter's Companion watercolour card, let me get some here, and it hasn't got that same composition as the artists, like with the size in it and the cotton, right? Like they got in the book, because that's we've given you everything. We've given you the whole story, yeah. So you know exactly what you want to do, guys. Is get your spray bottle, because you got it in there as well. That's all in the showstopper.
Very fancy spray bottle.
A fabulous spray bottle. It's really good spray bottle. It's Mister. It actually does mist really well. And you're going to get...
Did you say it's called Mister?
Mister.
Yeah.
It's a Mister.
Mr. Spray Bottle.
Mr. Spray Bottle. Mister. Yeah. Oh, Mister. Yeah, Mister. So then you want to get yourself some glycerin. Right?
Yeah.
Now I've brought a couple of examples to show you. It's more places than you think. It's one of those things, if you've never looked for it, you won't see it. So if you're going like cookery places, they sell glycerin like this. This is, I paid £1. And that's going to be more than enough. Pour that in your bottle, and you want 1/4 glycerin to 3/4 water. So 1/4 glycerin, 3/4 water.
Okay.
Okay? 1 to 3. Yeah. And that's how you're going to do it. And then, of course, you can buy it in the mothership bottles like this online if you need to.
The mothership, yes.
You know, yours truly obviously does. And that one's leaking. It's all over the counter. I was wondering where it was coming from earlier. So I'm going to wipe that up. And then you're going to give it a shake. And that's ready now to mist your card, right? So give it about 3 or 4 mists like that. And then I like to just move my hand over the surface like this, kind of like when we're doing faux leather, but you're not rubbing and scrubbing the surface of your cord. I'm just really making sure that that's just covered my cord like that. And then I'm blotting off the excess like this, because I don't want it super wet. I just want to put a coating on it, and that's enough now, because what I found, and this was Professor Douglass and Professor
Douglass, yes.
Durant.
Yes.
Yes, coming up with that, saying, and I was actually driving at the time, and I thought, Eureka, glycerin, Debbie, try this, because I was in the car.
So you had your Eureka moment in the car. Who was it who had it in the bath? Was it Einstein?
Sorry?
Was it Einstein who had the Eureka moment in the bath?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was,
Archimedes.
It was Isaac Newton.
Isaac Newton.
Isaac Newton.
Knew it was one of
That's
them.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
And so basically, but I'm driving. I was actually driving up here for Crafters TV.
Yeah.
And I said, try this, Debbie. And then she said, it works. I said, try again. It worked again. Yeah, try the 3rd time. So basically, that's what's happening is the glycerin is just adding a bit more glycerin to your ink pad without messing around with your ink pad. So hopefully now we're ready to play. We did a rose earlier. People love roses. Should we do another rose, or do you want something else? Do you want wild rose? Do you want daisy? Should we do it?
Well, I'm always partial to a daisy, hence my daisy.
A daisy?
Daisy or a peony, maybe?
A peony? Right, we've got the daisy.
The chrysanth is nice as well.
The chrysanth is nice.
Yeah. Daisy.
Yeah. Daisy, we've got a daisy.
Producer has spoken.
That's right, the daisy.
Stick to the daisy.
Daisy, daisy. All right then. So I've got the daisy on the thing here, and I'm going to now this ink pad. I find it's good better if you do a little like scrubby thing over the surface there, then a little tap. Obviously, you know I'm the loudest person ever, and I'm just going to not even think too much about a composition. We'll maybe do a kind of corner composition. Let's do something like that, or something like that. We'll do one in front of the other, and maybe...
Just to, there's loads of questions. I'll ask them as we're sort of going through. So Cindy says, in order to use this set, I need to use glycerin then?
No, if you use the watercolour card, it's just to make it disappear better.
Yeah.
It'll still fade, but it'll disappear completely if you use the glycerin, which you'll see. Yeah. No, you don't need to use glycerin.
And the pad as well, and saying, are the designs printed in the pad, or is it just the paper? I'm confused. So you've got some paper, some printed, haven't you?
Yeah, they're all printed, and in the back you've got some plain paper, so that you can see and play with the really gorgeous quality watercolour card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just as a by the by, another 15 of those ink pads have just gone through the checkouts. So we are now over 40, heading towards 50% of the stock of the ink pads gone. Very, very, very busy. I mean, who would not want to do this technique? That's what I'm saying. That's why they're so busy. It's struck a chord with everybody, this Sheena, I think, hasn't it?
Oh, well, absolutely. You know what? It's if you're a stamper, you'll just get it. You don't need me to tell you. It's like, put me down for one of those. It's just, and it was really funny because I have to tell you, I think there's already panic going on in my team because, you know, they've obviously got one too because they've been working with it. Debbie's I think she's on ordering some as we speak. I told her, I said, well, Debbie, it's going really quickly. She went, I think I better go and have a look then and get a few more. I went, yeah, I think so.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I'm doing is I'm just having a little thing, and I'm going to put that there because I don't want the whole thing on there, but I'm not worried about I'm going to do that for the leaves on there. And you know what? I might just do a little bit of foliage. Look, I'm just playing. See, this is what you're going to do. And then I'm going to get the foliage one. Okay?
Yeah.
So this is what we're doing. This is the first bit. Let's put these little things. I like this little one here. That's a nice little filler flower. That leafy bit there.
Just whilst you're doing this as well, it's a good chance to ask questions. So Cindy's just asking, so the ink, will that only work on fusion paper and watercolour paper?
Fusion paper.
Is what she's asked. I think just the paper pad that we've got here and the watercolour paper, it will only work on that, is what she's asking.
The ink should work on anything really that you just try it out. I mean, it is really formulated for, you know, watercolour paper. Someone asked as well if it would go on canvas,
yeah.
But I haven't tried it on everything, to be honest. It's so new. It would be to try.
And another thing which was asked in the last show, and you touched on it, but Evelyn's just saying, could you use these with the aqua markers? I mean,
yes,
yes.
I would say yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, I'm getting stamp happy now. Look at this. Okay, let's just do a couple little traily bits on here. We may be all day doing this one composition.
But that's all right. We've got another hour after this next 20 minutes. And Chantal says, when you say light fast, does that mean that it doesn't fade?
When I say light fast, exactly.
Right.
So when the sun gets on it, like for example, I literally had coloured something in with a dye-based colouring product one night when I was in a studio, and they'd left the lights on in the studio overnight. And when I come back,
yeah.
the card was partially over part of my image I'd coloured in. And when I come back, you could see the difference, and that was overnight. And that's not brand specific, that's anybody's, that's any dye-based product. It's just the way it is with colouring product. Dye and pigment are, will always be that way. That dye-based colouring products just fade quicker than them. Let me do a little bit of colouring. We'll talk about the paints in more detail a little bit later.
Yes.
Yeah? So should we just do a bit of colouring? I'm going to try and speed colour here. I've given myself a bit of a challenge, but we'll go for it.
Another 15 of those shadow mark pads have gone. They are so popular. People multi-ordering. Jane B bought 4 of the magic ink pads.
So what I'm doing is I've got some, there's a colour on here, and it's a fabulous colour. Something Storm or something. I'll tell you what the colours are a bit later, but what I'm doing, with watercolour, you don't have white, okay?
No.
There's no white. You use basically the paper is the white. And so when you paint in white, what you paint is you paint the shadow. So these petals, if I want this flower to look like a white flower, you can see I've put like the indication of like a shadow at the base of these of this flower here. Yeah? And so what you'll see is that's like a little scribbly bit to say that's where your shadow's going to be, because that's where the light won't be, at the centre, yeah?
Yep.
So I'm using this one colour, this number 8 brush, and I've already painted that daisy there. Now, I can, because it's the ink, I don't have to worry about which one I've painted or which on top or whatever. I'll simply know that that one's going to be on top now, so I'll paint that one underneath. And I might do it a little bit darker. Now I can come back and reinforce some of these colours. So that is what we can just basically come back and... Can you see how I'm just speed painting? I'm just doing lines. Now this isn't the only way to paint the daisy. This is me under pressure, speed paint the daisy.
Speed, you know, as fast as you can.
Because we need a whole week with this to show you how, just start to scratch the value of what you're getting here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the potential of what we've got in front of us.
Yeah.
This is like when a discovery's made and it looks a bit, for what it is, it looks good for what it is, but then it has so many knock-on potentials, and you go, wow, so that means we can do this, and then that means we can do that with it, and then it starts firing up all these other ideas and things, and you think, okay, so yeah, it's one of those things, and like I say, I'm not surprised, because I have been on the quest for this ink pad, which again means that I can do this, and if I didn't have the ink pad, I couldn't have done this.
Yeah, exactly right.
And it also makes stamping more fun, because imagine masking all of this off. Imagine stamping and then using a drawing gum even. and then having to wait for it to dry, and then stamping that bit, and then rubbing that bit out, and then stamping that bit again, and then doing that bit, if I want those leaves to look like they're coming behind this bit. Oh, please. You just wouldn't do it. That makes it not fun. You know, there's things you could do, but would you do it? And would you do it in this time? I don't think so. So that's that nearly done, right? So what we'll do, we'll come back to those flowers, but let's do the middles of the flowers. Let's go with a lighter colour, yellow, just in the middle. This is just as quick as I can be. This is me being as quick as like Speedy Gonzales-y quick, okay? And then I'm going to go with a darker browny colour and just dot, and just know that I'll be doing a lot more tutorials with this for you.
Yeah.
But you see that little dotty brown in the middle? Mm-hmm. That now gives that a little bit like, it looks like it's got a bit of shape to it. A little bit of shape. Yeah. And the flowers aren't done yet, by the way. I'm going to come back to them. So next, let's paint these bigger leaves here. And let's find a nice green. Let's try that green there. You'll find you get your favourite colours. I've already got my favourite green in the set. I'll tell you what it is in a minute, but it's the third one, second row.
Third one what?
Third one from the right, second row down.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see. It's like, oh, I should mention, this is big. This is massive, right? So, you know, you invested in these paints, right? It's a standard size palette.
Right.
With standard size, what they call half pans, right?
Half pans?
Half pans. Watercolour artists call their little plastic things that they come in pans.
Right.
And it's mad, isn't it? You know, mad pans. And they get full pans, but most of the time they come in half pans. Mm. Now, what happens is if you use a colour up, any half pan and any make will fit into that palette. So you haven't got just this palette and then you've got to throw it away because you're missing one colour. All right? You can just then go, all right, I'm missing that. Maybe that pain's grey or that whatever. And then you just go and you get that colour and you pop it in. So it's like, you know, we're talking the proper real deal here, you know, where it's for life. This is a thing that you're going to learn.
Yep.
The more you do it, the more your confidence is going to build doing it. The more you're going to realise, oh, well, what was I scared of all that time? And it's just knowing, like, we've done with all the shows, it's those little tips and tricks that demystify it.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, okay, if I'd known that,
yeah,
that would have made things a lot easier in the past. So we've got those leaves painted there. And what I'm going to do is there's one little one just sticking up behind there, I put in there.
Just whilst we're watching you as well, a few questions which we can chat around and tackle. The stamp pad, so the magic pad, Helen's saying, can you use that with other mediums like your permanent markers and still heat it to disappear? Or has it got to be water?
Permanent markers?
Yeah, so like your...
Colour it in and then...
Yeah.
No, it's, you know,
watercolour, isn't it?
Yeah, it's water-based medium on that one.
What was the other question? There was so many questions. That was it. Yeah, earlier on. And thank you, Nicola. See, she's on the ball. She's on the ball. The question was about... Oh dear, I'll find it. Please hold the line, caller. Oh dear, here we are, Alison Alcalay. By the way, another 30 of those ink pads have gone. Could this ink pad, the magic pad, could this ink pad be used with Spectrum Noir sparkle pens, or will the mica interfere with it?
I haven't tried it.
Right.
But I couldn't say why it wouldn't work with them. That's all I would say.
Okay.
But until I've tried it, I would never say absolutely. Like I say, this is like literally so new that there's so much to do with it yet. We haven't, you know, it literally, this is the first thing, the watercolour fusion that we've done with it.
Yeah.
So there's so much more that we will be doing with it. Look at how this is coming together though, Ben. Look at how quick. Seriously, without any planning, if you can just stamp something quickly like this and then have something come together that you could easily put on a card, that's just crazy, isn't it?
It's unbelievable, and I think the penny is dropping with so many people, and everyone's now watching you go, well, hang on a minute, I think I could do that.
Yeah,
I think all of a sudden I can become an amazing watercolour artist.
Yeah.
because you've got the magic to be able to do it.
Absolutely, and all, you know, there's tips I'll tell you when we slow it down a bit, and we'll talk about the paints. And once you get the foundations, your head around the basics, like you're painting with water is the first thing to remember. And so you don't be thinking it's got to be thick and like poster paints, because that's where your first thing will go wrong. You're painting with water, so you want to paint paler, washed out colours, and I'll show you a little demonstration that'll highlight that in a sec. Once we've just put these little bits together, because all these little lines, you see, you've got to remember as well, when you heat that, those little lines will disappear.
Yeah.
So I need to remember that. So now the next thing, I'm going to a different green. So there's so many greens in this set as well, which is another thing that's sometimes difficult to get, because finding different greens is not easy, because it can look so boring with just the same green. And then you've got to mix them, and you can, obviously, there's so many tips that I can give you with that, but you don't have to. You can literally just use the colours from the set if you want, and they're going to look really cool.
Wendy Graham says, I wish I could speed paint like Sheena. Now, we can't promise that you'll be able to speed paint when you get this kit, but we can promise that you will start looking like a proper watercolour artist with this kit. I think last time since I've last said, another 26 of those ink pads have gone. If you're sat there thinking, oh, there's loads going, there really isn't. We are approaching half the stock of the ink pads on their own gone. So you will have to be quick. In a minute, after we've just seen the magic here, we will go for a break. And then what happens in a break is everybody who's got items in baskets checks out. And then we come back and we go, oh, nearly 60%. And then you get scared. And then you think, oh my goodness me, we need to be shopping, and then even more go, and before you know it, before the end of the day, you're struggling to get hold of those pads. So fast as you can, folks. Joanne French ordered 2 ink pads, and my friend who loves to colour but has not had time for crafting can't wait to see the product. Thank you for giving us great products, and also thank you for showing us how to use it. Lisa Beecham's ordered another 2 pads and 2 of the colouring pads. She says, I absolutely love this collection and want to play more. Lisa, Sheena's DT. Yeah,
absolutely. I knew you would. Good on you, Lisa, because she knows. Yeah.
She knows.
She knows. She knows. Right. Okay, you know what? Should we leave that there? Or shall I just continue doing this? And then we'll come back and hit it.
And then do the magic.
Yeah.
All right. We'll leave War Sheena in her happy place. We'll say hi to Tracy Harris, who says, hi, Tracy from Sheena's DT here. I'm so glad everyone is loving the collection. The pad is exceptional and the paints are my go-to. Placed my order earlier. Have fun creating all. Thank you, Tracy. And thank you to all of Sheena's DT for being on the show. We're going to take a break because we're so manically busy. You need to be quick on the magic pad because that is going, but whatever you've got in your carts and baskets, get checked out. We're almost through the first hour of the show, so any comments, questions, fire them through to us, but more important than that, get to check out. We'll meet you back here in about 4 minutes.
Tea first, and then from there it'll be meetings, and they could be commercial meetings, they could be creative meetings, I could be supporting one of my team. I also manage a large team, so it could be one-to-ones with those. Every day is different, but always a predominant focus on the products, how they're working, the new products that we're bringing out, a lot of research and development. When we get to see the finished article, way before anybody at home gets to see it, it arrives and we get to unpack it and experience it and try it, that gives us all a massive buzz. I can't be getting out of bed too early, and I like to get to bed. 9 o'clock's the new 10 p.m. Tea all day long, black, no sugar, thank you. I tend to miss breakfast, which isn't great, and if I have something when I come in the office, then that's going to be yogurt and fruit. My face, all of the makeup that makes this, nobody's seeing this without that on. Probably a baked potato or a salad or something egg-based. Ooh, craft along a masterclass. I'm going to say masterclass, and that's because I love to educate. One song that would be the theme tune to my life, it would be Billy Ocean, Red Light Spells Danger. Porridge and tonic, first thing I do. get in the house, gin and tonic, decompress the day, and then plan what I'm going to do that night.
Come in, check my emails, then lay the shows out in the studio, set pack shots up. Then I will get new polls, pick shows, solve any problems that need solving. We deal with other teams where we receive market sheets, we receive boards. We pick samples to send to Hobby Maker. We pick samples to send to QVC. We will take the previous shows out of the studios, set the new shows up. We do floor manage occasionally, not all the time, making sure that the craft expert presenters have everything at hand that they need. Anything that they haven't got during shows, we will run about and get the products for them. Think on a morning when it's really quiet, I can get more done when there's nobody else in the building. Night owl. Morning. Coffee on a morning, tea the rest of the day. Savoury. Normally lunchtime. Craft along. Mobile phone. Christina's chicken wrap. Barry White, you're my first, my last, my everything. Go home and make the tea.
Right, we got about 5 minutes before the top of the hour. Sheena, should we do the magic?
Go on then, let's do it.
Go on, War
All right
Sheena.
then. So we've got that there now. I've just finished painting those little flowers, and let's get in there. Let's start on this side here. So put your heat gun on. But see how that's come together, even though there was no plan and no prior thought thinking. In fact, no thinking at all, really. So, oh, look at that. It's
Going already.
straight away. Look at this. You've got to look really quickly because it goes, and you don't even see it go. It's disappeared before you even see it.
Just watch the edge of the petals, and then you can just about see it. But like you say, it's so like blinking, you miss it quick, isn't it?
So that,
blink and you miss it.
lovely people, is on Crafter's Companion watercolour card.
Yeah.
Absolutely no hint of an ink line. Just like that. Thanks to the glycerin
Magic,
in the water
that.
bottle. Everything coming together beautifully. I love it when it's comes together.
Magic. Evelyn says, order placed. Carol says, can you do wet on wet within the image as opposed to wetting the entire surface of the paper?
Yeah, absolutely. Sure, that's what I've been doing. You know when I did the leaves? I literally wet the leaves and then I dropped the colour into it, didn't I? So this leaf was the green and then I dropped some of the darker green into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can do wet into wet, absolutely. All that does is that glycerin is so... there's so little of it, and when you put it on, it's kind of dried on the surface. It's kind of like an extra size sort of thing. Yeah. That's just going to help the ink. Glycerin is attracts moisture.
Yeah.
And so, and it doesn't seem to affect the way you're painting much at all. But it's enough there to make the ink work really well and disappear.
Just a quick question, and you sort of half touched on this, but when he says this may sound like a stupid question, no. Is there a time limit on the image you stamped? Say if you couldn't finish it, will it still disappear? Sorry if this is a stupid question.
I've got to be honest, I haven't left it overnight or anything. Maybe we should try it. I tend to just do it and then do it and then disappear it.
Yeah.
maybe it's to me, even if you left it overnight and it didn't disappear as well, it wouldn't. It's not a deal breaker for me, because if I can paint it like that and get the base layer down, and then then that's fine. But I haven't tried it, so I'm not going to say yes. But we'll try it for you.
And
get somebody onto it. Maybe my team has. Somebody on my team might have done. Maybe Debbie.
Let us know.
Done.
DT.
Or Lisa, I don't know if you have.
Just a quick one quick question, and we're going to look at this pad, because I know you guys want to look at the pad and get the details up individually. Laurel, after drying the paper, can you then go back in and stamp more?
Oh yeah, absolutely, for sure. Yeah, you can stamp another layer, do some more painting, then dry it. We could add something else to that now, and do it all again. Or just add some more detail to it. We might want to add a little bit of that gypsophilia in here.
Yeah.
Put that in.
We
can do that after the break, and if you want. Yeah.
Just before we do, because we've literally got 2 minutes, can you show us the pad? The
pre-printed pad.
Yes, because a few people asked about that. Details on your screen here for this one, and just quickly chat us through what we get again in the pad.
So, if you've wondered, we're talking about artist watercolour paper, like the real deal, top quality, and this is good. This is the thing that people talk about online a lot. This particular paper that Leanne's got for you, that we've sourced to print this on. This is like top quality card. You will feel the difference when you're painting on this as opposed to our crafters watercolour card. Yeah, it's just different. It's a different beast. It's a different thing, and this is what you're going to get. You're going to get 2 printed designs of each design. I hope you can see that okay, these designs. So what I did was I had to choose how intense the ink was. I wanted it so that you could see it, but not that dark that it became the most important bit of the painting. I wanted it to be so that you could paint it and not have a really strong line visible there, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So you've got these gorgeous little designs here. They're already in a standard frame format. We looked at what frames you could easily get off the shelf and made this cut-out line to that side. This part here is what you're going to use to mix your colours, to test your colours out, or you could even use it in front of the card. And then in the back, you've got some extra sheets that I would use carefully and sparingly. You would get at least 2 good-sized cards out of there, split it in half and use each side. So you're going to get 2, 4, 6 more cards, or actual bits of art for the wall. Use this as your wall, your posh painting stuff. It's affordable. Use that on cards if you want. It's that affordable, you can do that. But for me, that would be the stuff I'd sell or gift.
Yeah, and also, if you're talking about things that you're going to add on to your showstopper, maybe another one of those pads, and certainly more of the magic shadow marks as well. Incredible hour. We've got another hour to bring to you as well. So please think about stocking up, think about going for the showstopper. Any questions or comments you want to fire our way, do it now, and we'll do it during the second hour of the show. Just gone 3 o'clock here in the UK. It's Friday, the 21st of June. Lots to celebrate here at Crafters TV, of course, because it is the birthdays of both Debbie and Craig. So hope those guys are having a great day. Also celebrating because the sun's out here in the northeast as well. That's an occurrence, in its own right. Just seeing that orange thing in the sky. Always forgot what it was. And it's been National Bring Your Dog to Work Day, so we've had a dog on the show. We've had a brand new launch today, which we're talking about here. And of course, with it being Friday, don't forget Friday Night Live is coming your way in 2 hours' time. Live at 5, my love. That is midday Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Tonight, we've got more fun, more gags, more games, more chances to win. We've got your Friday night faves. If you sent in a picture recently, make sure you're watching, because you need to watch to claim your bonus points if we show it. We've also got your opportunity to vote for your demo of the week. There will be 3 that you can choose from, and whoever demo you choose, we will sit back, relax and watch it over again. So lots to look forward to. I'm really looking forward to that show, actually, because we do the game where you get the chance to win vouchers to spend. I'm obviously Team Facebook. It will be the first time that I've ever taken on Sheena, who plays for Team YouTube, in the game. I want to find out just how competitive you get, Sheena.
Oh, bordering on aggressive.
Oh no, really?
Oh yeah.
Are you the kind of person who, when we play Monopoly, you'll tip the table up?
Oh, absolutely. Proper drop and storm. Yeah. probably not even speak to you for a few months. Yeah. No, actually, I kind of like the, I forget my name in those situations, you know, when you've got like, yeah.
Well, I like the fact, so tonight, obviously competitive opponent. I mean, I don't want to talk about it. I won last week against Becky Swan, and she is quite competitive. But tonight, a new competitive opponent. Choose your teams wisely. Sheena, Team YouTube, me, Team Facebook. Your chance to win some vouchers to spend with us later. But that's later, and I know you're going to come and watch and enjoy that show with us because it was well received last week. But now is now, the launch of this brand new collection from Sheena. The showstopper is everything, right? So your watercolour palette, accessories, your amazing stamps, the watercolour pad, your mister, your paint, your palette, your brushes, and then that magic pad, which I'm going to keep referring it to as the magic, the shadow mark, which I just think is incredible. I've seen nothing of the like in the 8 years that I've been in craft. As far as the showstopper's concerned, what was the stock? Did you say I was getting too excited? Over 20% of the showstopper's gone, so you're still okay as far as that's concerned. There's the price, but it's this little pad here that you've got to worry about. We must be over half the stock. With you calling those numbers in my ear in that last hour, we must be over 50% of the stock now gone on that. I'll show you boards and whatnot in just a second, but should we go to Sheena and perhaps have a look, perhaps re-explain again just how this works for the people who've just joined us?
Do you want to see the ink pad again?
Yeah.
Let me show you the ink pad. Right, okay, so this is the ink pad, and it looks just like any other ink pad.
Yeah.
But it's like the ink pad from the Wizard in School.
Yes, it is.
It looks, you know, when it just looks like a normal, like, street, like a bit like Diagon Alley, something like that, and then, like, you open the door and you're in, like, some other parallel universe. That's a parallel universe ink pad. So let me take you get one of the stamps and let me show you. So we'll just use a little leaf here, just for speed. Let's use this little guy here, that one there. So we'll pop that on there. I've got some watercolour card here. I am going to ink this up, thus, like that. And then we'll just stamp it here.
Yeah.
Like that, coming off the page. And then disappearing, did it say? Hello?
Here we go.
How disappearing is that disappearing ink pad? Keep watching.
Now watch this.
It's going to be quick.
You're going to like this. Not a lot.
Don't take it. Yes, exactly. What?
It's gone. Leave it out, Sheena.
Leave it out.
Leave it out.
What?
That is brilliant.
Leave it out. Make like a tree and leaf.
Yes, Sheena.
Oh, that's how disappearing it is. And so in practical terms, right, you have that ink, that little thing there, and you have got any ink, any of your stamps that you don't want the whole stamp thing. And so normally you'd have to like mask a bit off. You'd have to just ink part of the image. Sometimes you just can't do that. It's right in the middle of an ink pad, of an image. Well, how are you going to do that? You're going to just do part of it. Difficult. So say we want that, but we just want these little bits here, this on the corner. We don't want that guy there. So we'll take our paints, bring them in. We'll talk about these. We need to really explain about these paints because you need to know just how cool these paints are. Because everything, all watercolour paints might look the same, but they're not the same. It's like brushes, you know, because we bring you those Royal and Langnickel how good they are. But they look, you could think, well, they just look like a lot of other brushes that we've got. But you know, when using them, that, we haven't been saying it for nothing. And it's the same with the pencils that we bring you, all those products. It's all about the quality that you can't always see just straight out the box. So what I'm doing is I'm just painting these little leaves here, and I'm not really worrying too much about, you can paint over the leaves, you can paint sort of near them, or you can just, add another one, or just ignore part of them as well if you want. So we'll pop that one there, and we might just we'll just leave it there. So see just that little bit in the corner, and you don't want any of that. So that could be any of your stamps at home. So then, are you watching again? It's just this. You think embossing powder is good. This is something you can just keep doing and doing and doing, and it's just never going to get tired. Look at that.
Look at this, it's gone. It's
How
just
good is that?
my new favourite thing in the world ever, even over embossing powders. I mean, it's just
Game
incredible.
Game changer.
It is a game changer.
Game changer. It's amazing, isn't it? So that's why people are
Absolutely.
multi-buying. I'm a bit scared because now I'm thinking, if I'm here, I can't be ordering anymore either, and I've only got, I may have 2 max.
Oh,
I know. And my team are already multi-ordering. You heard Debbie and Lisa are ordering more now. So, yeah.
maybe your team can multi-order for you.
Absolutely, yes. Put the call out. You know what? Because what are you going to do? There's nowhere else. I'm not aware of anybody else that has a product anything like this. I bet they wish they did.
Just whilst we get ready, and listen, the second hour of the show, anything else that you want to see exactly, just please ask. But comments coming through. Evelyn's placed her order. Thank you also to Kathy Wright, who says, I wasn't going to order any more this month, but I just ordered this great new collection. I had to get an extra ink pad as well. Thank you, Sheena. I think, you know, if you are the kind of lower end of the budget scale, you're probably going to go for the stamps because they're beautiful. I would imagine your watercolour pad and then the magic, that's a nice smaller bundle for you. However, if you can go for the showstopper, just go for the lot and do what pretty much everyone is doing and add more of these. This is going to be your problem because, you know, the stamps are beautiful, right? They are absolutely stunning. They are gorgeous. You definitely want them in your life. But, you know, you will be able to use this and achieve this effect with other stamps. So if you are the lower end of the budget, I would definitely tell you the thing that you absolutely 100%, 1,000,000% need is the shadow mark. That's what you need to be going for. Multi-order that, because when that's gone, you know, you're not going to be able to achieve this effect that everybody is loving. So more than anything, and you know, you've already taken that advice because we've sold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these. Please make sure you grab as many of those as you think you might need and more. Hooray, says Alison Garrett. I've just ordered the Daisy and Wildflower Trio and of course the Magic Ink Pad. There you go. Choose the stamps that you like. And the Magic Ink Pad has always got to be in every basket. I said no more spending this month, says Suzanne Dawn, but I've caved now. How could I not? This collection is awesome. Collection bought. Guess what? With an extra ink pad. You're seeing a theme here now. People are shopping savvily. They are thinking, I need to get the lot and I need more of those ink pads. That's the game changer. So if you want to keep changing games, you need to make sure that you've got your MVP, most valuable player, in your craft room to do the business for you. So please, I encourage you, you know, normally on a day like this when something's flying, we might say, oh, you know, just leave a few back for other people. Maybe, you know, don't be so greedy. Be as greedy as you want. That's what I'm telling you. Just taking a sneaky peek, says Nettie New, as I'm at work. Oh, Nettie New's answered my question. To answer your question from yesterday, Ben, I'm in Tavistock in Devon. Thank you. Tavistock in Devon. Right. There's some more questions coming through, but shall we have a look in more detail at the paints with you, Sheena? Because we're not really delved into these too much, are we?
Absolutely, because it's important that, you know, because you know what, if you've got kids, they've likely got watercolours. Watercolours is probably not new to most of us. You've seen them, they've been around. But knowing the right ones to get, the ones that are going to be the ones that you can learn with, that are going to do all the techniques that you want them to do. You know, it follows through. It's the first time Crafters Companion have brought you proper artist watercolours. We've done it with the colouring pencils, with the aqua, or with the water-based colouring pencils, with the pens, so you know then how it goes.
Yeah.
It's the same with these. So it's in a traditional artist watercolour tin, which is fabulous. So it's a standard size tin. You've got a colour chart like this for you. Now, you've got different colours here. You've got things like crimson, carmine, vermilion. So some of them are standard kind of burnt sienna is a standard colour, burnt umber. Some of them are a little bit less like standard, like pansy. You know, there's not. But what I would say is when you, because they're all traditional sized half pan watercolour little, they're in their little plastic. Let me show you what I mean as well. So all these little guys here, they're loose, right? They're all loose. So what you do is if you say use up all your burnt umber, which is number 55, it's a good colour, you might use quite a bit of it, it's a standard colour. You can then go to your local art, craft shop, online, wherever, and say, I'm on a half pan, and you can invest in whatever. Everybody does a burnt umber. whoever it is. So you don't have to then think, oh, that's my palette all done, dusted now, because I've just run out of that one colour. Then you pop it back in and then you bend those little guys there and then the back. You could even change the order of everything's in here.
Yeah.
But because everything's written out here, I've left it exactly as it is. In fact, what I did do, and I would definitely advise you do, make a colour chart. Because when you look at the colours on here, and then you look at the colour chart, look at that cerise there. Is that far more exciting to me than that there?
Absolutely.
That looks so much more vibrant and lively than that. Look at this one here. Look at this. The turquoise is gorgeous. Much more colour in it and pop than this here. Do you see?
Yeah.
This is a printer's ink trying to look like the watercolour. You can't get better than actually make yourself a little palette like this. So paint the more intense colour there and then water it down. Now let me show you about how you're gonna, how intense the colours you're gonna be using, how to actually use them. Mention the brushes as well. I put this set together for you size-wise so that you've got all the sizes you're gonna need. Always use the biggest brush you can and that you can control. That's the secret to your success with the loose watercolours. It's going to hold more product, more paint. You're going to have to not reload it as many times, and you know what, you'll find you'll be able to do so much with even the biggest one, because look at the point on them. That's what you're paying for. Good quality, making a point. Right, let me show you an example of how we're going to mix. I'm going to use a colour on this side so we can get everything in the shot.
Yeah.
So if we take this brush, let's try that one, and we'll use, say this one here, use this this carmine, let's use that. Okay. So a lot of you people might be thinking, right, well, we'll just do that and we'll just start painting, right, like that. And you're going to start painting. And that's what you may have had in the past. And it's like, oh, yeah, clearly not great, is it? Kind of like you're painting with poster paints. And that's exactly what you're going to be getting. It's going to be that kind of effect because it's thick, it's gloopy, and watercolours shouldn't be opaque. You're painting with water. So what you do is you take some paint, you wet it, just as we're doing. You see, you didn't have to like wait like the shimmer watercolours. You literally, that's lifted so much colour out there now. Look at that. Look at how creamy that colour is.
I love this mixing palette.
Isn't it fabulous?
Really snazzy.
See what I did there? You're going to get that as well. So I've popped some water in there, and that there is pretty much the thickest that you'll probably ever use. That's still really opaque, but you'll never be painting with anything more opaque than that, because watercolour shouldn't be opaque. I'm going to bring the water in here as well. This is the challenge here. Look, we've got the poor, camera is going to...
We're going to need a bigger camera.
You're going to need a bigger camera. So look, I'm loading the brush with water and I'm splodging that in there, a whole brush load of water. And then watch. Right, look at how much colour is still there, right? Cleaning the brush, loading it with another load of water that's about to drop. Look how much colour still there.
Yeah, exactly right.
Loading the brush, still loads of water. How much colour is still there?
Yeah, I know.
Loading the brush again.
Yeah.
Look, cleaning it, loading it, much lower water. Can you see? This is more like watercolour. This is more what we should be painting with, yeah? I think I just put another load in there. Yeah, there, can you see? Loading the brush in there. We could be gone, well, this is the show going to be gone, yeah, with me keeping it. Will it ever stop?
You've got 45 minutes left, Sheena, to be fair. So.
You know what I said about driving the Ferrari? This is what I mean about controlling these things. Learning that you need hardly any. I mean, seriously, I'm even going to do 1, 2, I'm going to do 3. And this often is more what you're going to be starting your flowers with, that kind of level. Look, from there to there, look at that, look at how much water. And then what you can do is you can do something like a wash like this, and that wet into wet, that I can't remember who it was now, the lovely lady mentioned. This is where you would drop some more colour into that, and you'll get that wet into wet technique. Can you see where it then starts to wick out into the other side, and it'll do it all kind of like blending if you leave it, or you can just encourage it a little bit. And that's how you put a little bit of shading into your leaves and things. But that there is the point I want to make. So just be aware, these are powerful. That's what you're paying for. They're going to last you ages. When at that scenario about having to replace the one, a long time. Seriously, That's the point I wanted to make there. I think I've covered everything I needed to make a colour chart.
Yeah.
Always mix from either the palette in your, the mixing areas on your, in your little actual watercolour palette, or this one, which is even better, because look at this, then you can have lots of pre-mixed there. It's much easier, because then it's going to roll off there or into there. That's all right for portability, but if you're sitting at your desk, this is fantastic, because then you can do a lovely, lots of it to do a full wash there. And if it dries, you just add water to it, and you don't waste anything.
There are questions coming through which we've covered, but I feel like it's worth going over them again. Few people and questions people asking, can they use their watercolour markers? And I've seen, you know, things like the aqua markers, the Colorista watercolour markers. So can we use our watercolour markers with the magic pad?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
in a word.
Yes, anything water-based like that, not alcohol-based. It reacts differently with the ink, because that ink works with the water-based medium.
Okay, and can you just describe again, because I've seen 2 or 3 people saying, when/where do I use the glycerin? I mean, Jill's asked it, I think Sandy asked that question as well. So when and where does the glycerin come in with this?
So, right, so let me show you. This is the same card that's in that pad here. Let's just show you the pad, it's easier. Right, the pad here, this is the card that's in the back of the pad. It's really completely, you can see the colour difference for a start, yeah? Right, that's the watercolour, the artist watercolour card with cotton content with the watercolour size in it. This is Crafters Companion watercolour card,
Yeah.
which is different, okay? And this is more like your regular, your crafting card that you would be using in the crafting kind of scenario.
Yeah.
This is when you go to your posh art shop and you get your posh watercolour card, because it's been formulated to play brilliantly with watercolours.
Yes.
It's got the right size in it, which means that it absorbs the paint to just the right amount and not too much, without going and boring you with all the other stuff that you don't need to know. So what happens is when you stamp with this one on there, it works really easily without having to do anything to it. You saw that one I did at the top of the show with that little leaf, how well that just disappeared on that bit of artist's watercolour card. I can't even find it. You know that little green leaf I just stamped?
Oh, yeah.
At the very start? That was hot press watercolour card. Okay? Can't find it. It's in here somewhere. It'll show up again
when you least
the end
expect
of the
it.
day. And oh, there it is. Right.
Hey.
There it is. So you saw how well that disappeared. There's no lines there. You can't see any stamp line, can you? It just disappeared when I painted it. And I did nothing to it. There was no glycerin on there beforehand. All card is different. But if you find you've stamped and when you heat it, it isn't disappearing, then what you do is this. You get your card and you take your spray bottle like this.
Yeah.
And you want the bigger one, really, because you'll be forever refilling those little baby ones. They really, it's just, yeah, use the big one for this. And you put a quarter glycerin, right? Just get glycerin, and then 3/4 water. So 1/4 to 3/4.
Yeah.
Give it a shake, and then you're going to spritz it maybe 3 times to where you're going to stamp, and then just make sure the water just doesn't puddle, and make sure it covers the area. Anyway, you're going to put that ink pad like that and just spread it out. Don't scrub the surface, and then get your kitchen paper and then just take away all that excess. Just blot it like that. And that's just put enough of a coating on there of that glycerin so that when you stamp it now, it's going to, the line's going to fade. And you saw that happen. That's exactly what I did with this one, which meant when I heated it,
perfect.
the line disappeared beautifully, and there was no sign of any...
Beautifully?
Beautifully, darling. Yeah, call me Josephine from now on.
It's all very brilliant stuff, isn't it? Rosa said, I've just ordered the magic ink pad and spray bottle, plus the hydrangea papers at an amazing price. Yeah, there's loads of great deals still on the website as far as the summer sale is concerned. Emma says, I've got the watercolour palette accessories, extra ink pad, wildflower trio, and watercolour ink pads, pre-ink images. And this is great, says Beverly, if you're not good at staying in the lines. It's just such a revolutionary new technique, which is, I think, going to raise your game changer. That's that phrase that we keep saying. It really is. And Cindy Condy says, this type of demo is great, just what I need for the tips and the tricks. We're going to have a break. I just want to quickly show you again the stamps that you're going to be getting in this collection if you go for the Showstopper. Again, all of these are available for you individually. So I've seen a few people saying, well, they've gone for a selection of the stamps, and then maybe the paper, and then the shadow mark stamp. A few people saying they've gone for a mister in there as well. That is the mister of all misters.
It is,
isn't it? Mister. Take these broken wings and learn to fly again. Anyway, that's your classic chrysanthemum. You're also going to get beautiful rose, which I think will be popular with a lot of people. And it's just incredible. And as you saw here with the foliage fillers, just how incredible it is. Stamp it down, add your colour, and then use that heat effect to make the lines disappear and make you look like the best watercolour artist in your village. Wildflower trio you've got, and then also you've got all of your sentiments in there too. So things like enjoy every moment, happy birthday, lots of love, blooming beautiful, and more. It's over to you, really. The only thing I really would say that you've got to be really quick on is the pad on its own. That is flying. Showstopper, I think we are over 20, heading towards 30% of the stock. Pick and choose wherever your budget lies. If you want it all, obviously the best value for money is within the Showstopper. £112 or $144. That is your free shipping, of course, as well. If you do want to pick and choose, currently everything is available individually. It won't be the case soon. So get to the checkouts. We will come back in just a while. Anything else that you want to see, anything else that you want to ask, you'll have about half an hour when we get back. So do it quickly, fans, and we will see you back here in just a little while.
I like to get up, chill, relax, get a cup of tea, then get myself sorted. And if I'm presenter, I'll write all my notes. If I'm the demonstrator, I'll get my prep out, have another look at it, make sure that everything is the way it needs to be for the show, do the show. Then what I'll do is I'll grab something to eat. Then have another look at the sheets again, making sure the next show's all good to go. Then we do that show, tidy. I always like to make sure that the area is nice and tidy, either for myself the next day or whoever's in. Jump in the car, head home. I will quickly unpack what I need to unpack, and then I get on that sofa as quick as I can. As soon as we go live, I love that within our live shows, I always get the butterflies. As soon as we get that countdown in our ear that we're just going live, butterflies kick in, and within about 10-15 seconds, I'm going. Butterflies have gone, and we just enjoy the show. Early riser. Oh, shower in the morning. Tea. Oh, savoury breakfast. Masterclass. My mobile phone. Oh, anything with chicken. Currently, it is the weekend, Blind and Light, and it has been for about a couple of years, and I still love it. Apart from jumping in the car, chilling on the sofa, watching TV.
When I'm working, it's quite busy because I have to get up really early to come in to work if I'm going to be travelling from London. But otherwise, I'm quite lazy. I spend a lot of time in bed. Best part of my day is when we come in and I get to see everybody. I really enjoy being up here. It's really nice to see all my friends, and this is my happy place. I like to see everyone, and also, of course, if Christina's in, I'm getting my breakfast from Christina before I start the day. Early riser without a doubt, never a night owl. I'm in bed at 9:30. Bath at night, shower in the morning. I'm very clean. Tea, the colour of He-Man. Both. I like pancakes with bacon and maple syrup. Craft along, because there's always a softer side to craft along. My phone, my life is my phone. Yeah, the phone and the dog, unless I'm coming up here and I can't bring the dog in. My favourite lunch isn't lunch. My favourite lunch is afternoon tea. That's what I'd like. Lots of selection of sandwiches, some scones, or scones, some cream and jam, and some little cakes. But I couldn't have it every day because I'd be the size of a house. Oh, that changes to the moment. My favourite song at the moment is Natasha Bedingfield, Unwritten. Or make myself a cup of tea and go and have a bath.
Welcome back, everybody. This is great. It says Beverly. The palette, it's really cool, says Jane Adams. That was Arnie out of, where does he say that? Which movie? Jingle All the Way. This is really cool, when he picks up his son's karate belt because he's missed the karate class.
Oh yeah, I love Jingle All the Way. It's
So good, isn't it?
I really like that film.
So good.
Yeah.
Soon be watching it again. It can't be many days. If Johnny's ever in the gallery, he'll always go, oh, it's 100 and X amount of days till Christmas. It's less than 200 days to go anyway. I would love some fall and Christmas fusion stamp sets, says Laurie, and I hope this ink pad, says Jane, will become a core tool. Well, don't bank on it and get it now whilst we've got it in stock, because it's going to go out of stock. We are... I did some calculations on it in the break. I think we're 55% of the Shadow Mark ink pad gone. Right, so that tells you, and we had big stock, so go quickly. We're going to concentrate for the sort of next wee while on the watercolour pad, aren't we, and have a look at that with you.
Absolutely. So you might be even be able to see how the paint reacts differently on this paper. You might see it, you know, even rather than me feeling how it reacts differently, you might even be able to see it. So what I've got is this Wild Rose kind of corner here. And I am going to try to bring in best I can.
Yep.
See everything. The paints, core challenge this is, and we'll never get the watercolour palette in as well, will we? But what I'll do is, let's take that out for a start. Let's just do this to start with, and let's work on colours. So, you know what I was saying about, right, okay, change of plan, talking to myself, here's what I'm going to do, move everything out, because I was saying this is the challenge about getting everything in. I'm going to cut this bit here, like that, right? Because that's the bit I want to mix my colours on. You know what I said about cutting the thing, and this here is going to fit in the standard frame size.
Yeah.
And that's the bit we're going to mix colours on. So I'm going to put that there, and what we'll do first of all is let's pick some colours out and do a little bit of colour mixing to start with. So I'm thinking, best way to, if you're not sure what these flowers look like, look at some pictures. Find some pictures of some wild roses that you like. Sometimes they're really pinky like this. Sometimes you're pretty much close with just the one colour.
Yeah.
If you want like a cool pinky colour like that, that would work, you know. That would we go with that. That was the cerise, I think, was it? Or carmine. I think it might have been, I can't remember, it was one of them. But you know what? But then if you want to make it a bit, it was carmine apparently, so that was that one there on the thing, that one there. So we could go with that. That would be lovely if you want a pinky pink one. If you wanted a little bit more peachy, you could add a little bit of maybe this here, this yellow ochre in it. Pop that in, and then it becomes, can you see it's going warmer already? A little bit of that, and then just try it'll start going a little bit more towards the peachy pink. There, can you see?
Yeah.
From there to there. So it depends on what the kind of palette you want and that. So let's say that's where we're going to go with the rose for the base colour. Then the leaves, let's pick out some colours for the leaves. So if you look at this, we've got the main leaf here, which I think always looks nice with a warmer green. And I love this green here, this one here, this olive green is my favourite. I've already pegged that as my favourite green, olive green. Thank you very much, we'll have that. And we'll pop that in there. So I'm going to mix some of that, and that's going to be my base colour. I'm not going to do anything more to it than just pop some in there like that. And then just add some water to it so that it's just about good to go.
Yeah.
As a base colour, because I might drop colour into it, wet into wet, to make it a bit fancier. Then we've got these long frondy bits there, and I think I'm going to go with this, maybe that one, Deep Forest. I like that, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across, 1, 2, 5
It's like
across.
a crossword.
It's like, yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so that one there.
5 across, Deep Forest.
Exactly. So can you see how if you just leave them in that order,
Yeah.
and still, if you make your colour chart and write on what they are in the colour chart as well, that'll be just as easy. But I haven't got that far yet. I just scribbled them onto the colour chart. And then we want another warmish green. Let's do a yellowy green. Let's do that as the base colour here. Let's do lemon yellow, like that.
They call him lemon yellow.
Quite rightly. And a bit of that mixed in that there.
Would the Moonbeam and Sunbeam watercolours work with the ink, says Jessica Stricker?
You know what? I haven't tried them yet, but I don't see why not.
Okay.
I absolutely can't see why not. There's a water-based,
Yeah.
so I think so. And I'm going to mix a little bit of a brownie colour in that as well. I wanted it a bit more earthy. Yeah. Maybe a bit of that reddy colour in there. Yeah, that's a bit more. Okay. Right, that's going to be my basic palette to start with. And so, now, let's just... Oh, you know what? Look, see there? If I've got that bit of paint.
Oh, like a
That's
tiny
what
little bit.
happens when you're trying to get everything in the shot, and you need some more space. But what you want to do is get water on it ASAP. And
Yeah.
reds are notorious for staining more than any other colour. But if you're super quick and you kind of push it with the brush like that and then blot it, that might fade and you barely even see it.
Perfect.
So that's what you do. So let's take then, I'm going to pop these over a little bit, just so I've got a little bit more room. Bring that over so that I can see a little bit more. And I'm going to use this colour as the base of my, you know that bit of card, Ben, I put? Yeah, you know, I cut it up and I said we're going to use that to paint on, didn't I?
So much
it's
stuff.
Like, here we go, pantomime.
Look at the mess. This is the shot we want. Look at this.
There it is, right. Okay, I want to use, actually that's still a bit paler. So I'm going to put a bit of water in that and I'm going to make that even paler again. So let's start with this petal here. So I'm just literally going to flood that like that. But you know what? You can leave a little bit of white in it as a highlight as well. Can you see?
Yeah.
So a little bit like this. And you'll see that your paint actually goes even further on this card. See how it's just like, it's puddling, it's pooling, because it's not absorbing as quickly. It just behaves differently. For wet into wet techniques and things, this will actually, should be even easier to use.
So do you think once you've tried this watercolour card, you'll be coming back buying more of it? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You'll realise the difference, and it's like, oh, can you see how the wet into wet compared to on the other card? See how it's just diffused and it looks like candy floss, doesn't it? It's like fluffy little, look, you can barely, it's like it's airbrushed, isn't it?
Yeah.
And all I'm doing is dropping the tiniest amount of the colour, like more intense colour in there, and it's doing its own thing and giving those petals a little variation and making it look so much more interesting. So let's do another one. So that there, water, and then that's not even in shot. Let me try and get that in shot for you. So I'd see how I could go ahead a little bit further with this card than I could with the other, because it's sitting on the surface a bit longer.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry. With the crafter's watercolour card, there's no way I could go ahead and paint all these leaves, these petals in, all 5, and then drop the colour in, because it would already have soaked into the card. Yeah?
Margaret says, hi Sheena and Ben, I've been out shopping and I've seen this. Wow, I'm at the Evesham store tomorrow. Guess what? I'm getting lol. She says, lovely to see you last Saturday as well, Sheena.
Oh,
you were there with the Barnsley Bombshell, weren't you?
Oh, it was lovely. You know what? I just said to Maria, I'm going to see Debbie.
Yeah.
And I nipped in. I went, I might be about half an hour.
Uh-oh.
I was there until like the afternoon, early afternoon.
You can't just have half an hour, Debbie.
Well, no, we had lunch together and everything. It was lovely. And
yeah,
I ended up sitting next to her with the Dem, and we had a good laugh, and it was just lovely. Yeah, and you know they're lovely at that shop as well.
Yeah.
Rachel and the team, they always work so hard, and it's great to be local and being able to go in and support.
Pop in, yeah. Debbie was doing a demo day, wasn't she?
She was doing a demo, yeah.
Did she get big crowds? I can imagine they were.
She did.
Turning them away.
And I did. Our gate crashed. I went to heckle her. Actually, she didn't know it was me. She had her wrong glasses on.
Debbie.
And the ladies in the audience are standing laughing, and I'm just standing there. Being quiet, I think, was the problem. I didn't say anything. I thought, well, I'd be respectful, I'll behave, I'll say nothing. And then I thought, I'm going to have to make my presence known. So I shouted, Brian sends his love.
That is brilliant.
And so she went,
I love that.
It was hugs all around after that. But yeah, it was lovely. I really enjoyed the day out. It was smashing. So yeah, definitely. I'm there on the 24th of August.
Oh, 24, okay.
Yeah.
Get your tickets now.
Yeah, absolutely. Get there. It's going to be fun. Because you know what? Probably going to dress up.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing a Halloween-y kind of thing.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Halloween dungarees on. Yeah.
What's... Halloween dungarees.
Yeah, well, actually, I haven't got any yet, but it's a good excuse to buy some. And you actually do some.
I was going to say, that's actually a thing then, Halloween dungarees.
You can actually get them. I've seen them. There's ones with little skulls on, and there's a spiderweb one.
Nice.
I've seen them.
That's got to be the way forward.
That's got to be the way forward.
I wonder if Debbie Robinson's going to repay the favour and turn up and heckle from the audience as well.
Absolutely. I hope so. Yeah. Yeah, it was good fun. Oh, it was a good laugh. So now we've got the flowers, the base colour on there. Yeah.
Yep.
You see though how it looks so watercolory. Looks got that look, hasn't it? That loose kind of washed, pretty, delicate, like look, hasn't it? It's so different to anything else. I think watercolour. And that's what you've got to remember. Just start with the colours washed out, start with less. And you know where it puddles up? Like there, see at the end of that leaf? It gives it natural shading. Let it do that. Let it pool up. Don't overwork it. Don't try and brush it out and play with it too much. Just let it be light and dark. See? So what we're not going to have time to finish this all off. I can't where has the time gone?
Flown over. It's flown over. The good news is we will get a chance to do more tonight on Friday Night Live. Do you know, tonight we are filming in front of a live studio audience.
A live studio audience,
yeah.
Fantastic. Oh, we will have somebody with like a thing walking back and forth and saying, applause please.
Applause please, yeah.
Oh, we can have a warm-up act. Can we have a warm-up act as well?
I do the warm-up.
Fantastic.
Before the show.
Fantastic.
Got a few more gags lined up for you tonight because I know how much you all loved the gags at the top of the show last week.
Brilliant.
So we've got, I've got some jokes tonight. One of them a little bit risque, straight out the bag, it's all fine.
Oh, missus.
It's one of those jokes where I'm going to do it, and if you go, I'm going to complain, I'm going to go, well, it's you that thought it. I didn't mean that. I meant something else. It's one of those gags.
So it just shows how mucky your mind is.
Exactly right, Sheena.
So I'm going to have to go, oh, yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, exactly right.
Pure of thought and deed. Yeah, absolutely. Right then. Thanks for the heads up.
And then we've got the games tonight as well. All of the galleries, chances to win, whatnot. But we do have time. We will have time to explore more with this too. So we'll make sure we do. I feel like this is going to fit perfectly into that sort of Friday Night Live feel because it's all, it's big, it's upbeat, it's like, your big sort of Friday night finish to the week. We need a big, stunning new product and this is going to fit, I think, perfectly into that show tonight, Sheena.
Fab.
Yeah.
Fab. That
Yeah.
sounds good then. I'm down with that then, Ben. Sounds good with me. So can you see how that's coming together? And what I would do, Ben, is use that pinky colour, that more intense pink, the same pink as I've used for the flowers, and maybe add a little bit of, maybe it's a little bit of purple, and you know what, weirdly enough, touch of green in it to neutralise it,
Yeah.
right? To darken the colour. So there's less in your face kind of thing. And then you can just use that little bit there to add a little bit of shadow. Can you see on your petals?
Maria isn't in the studio today, Angela. You say, can I come next time? You know when I say we've got a live studio audience, right? It's. I'll let you into a secret. It's canned laughter. It's canned applause. Don't tell anyone else. But you know, later down the line, potentially we might have a live studio audience. If it takes off, we could start selling tickets. You know, you go and see Sheena and you know, Debbie down at the store in Evesham. You know, maybe we'll get live studio audience to come up here and see Friday Night Live.
That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Have you been to a television recording before? I have in America.
I've been on game shows as a contestant, but I don't think I've ever been to a live show. So which show did you go to?
I went to one, and it was in America. It was in the 80s though, and it had Shelley Long in it. You know Shelley Long of Cheers and lots of other things. You know, a blonde actress. And Treat Williams. Have you heard of him?
Treat Williams?
Treat Williams,
No.
another American actor. But the guys across the pond will know. But the thing is they don't want reserved British people in their thingy, you know, who normally, ew, ha, ha, ha,
yeah.
and maybe, you know, like, you know, we're like, rattle the pearls,
yeah.
like John Lennon said, those in the posh, just rattle your
jewellery, yeah.
At the Royal Variety thing. So yeah, I think we weren't making enough noise for them, bless them. But yeah, it was quite interesting. It was was it when we went to Universal in Hollywood? We was up in Hollywood and we were doing a recording then. And it was like, Free, do you want to come? We went, yeah. So.
And they do have the boards, don't they? Or like sometimes they have like the little lights that light up, then it says like clap now.
It goes on ages, it does. It goes on for a long time.
Laugh.
Like you've laughed at it the first time. Second time you go, oh, I'll try. Third time it's like, not even funny this time.
No.
Not even remote. It's like, oh, ha ha, whoop, whoop, whoop. Ooh, my sides are splitting. Yeah. So, you know, do what you can. But right, I don't know what we're like for time, but I think I'm... Oh, I thought you said 5 minutes or something before.
Nah, we've got about 15. We're all good.
My hearing's gone dodgy again.
Yeah.
Oh, I was ready to have bought this in speed painting. I was just like, oh, right, well, we'll just do a bit of that later. And right. But there, can you see how that's looking much better?
Yeah.
Yeah? Just having a little play with just dropping the different colours in. So different when you come to use this card. It really is lovely to use. Anybody who is used to watercolour as well, for example, I did the Facebook Live on Wednesday, and Diane, who lives up north, oh, well, actually, I'm up north at the minute, aren't I?
We are, yeah.
Yeah, I am. Well, she teaches watercolour classes up here, and she couldn't believe when she saw the ink pad. She thought that was amazing. And when I was saying about the Royal and Line-Nickel brushes, she was like singing the praises of them as well. So that's really good, isn't it? When you get someone who actually teaches watercolour as well to endorse these things. But yeah, I think that's going to be a massive game changer there for everybody, that the disappearing ink, to be able to make it accessible to everybody. Are you wanting to see more of this?
I think we're quite happy. I'm just going to say, Jane B says, I'm convinced that my jaw drops every time that heat gun hits the magic. Angela Park says, maybe you could do a craft version of Ready, Steady, Cook, but craft on one of your Fridays. Do you know what? Funny you should say that, Angela. I do believe there is something like that coming your way soon. I'm sure I've seen in my diary. Yeah, it does. And it does rhyme with that, Nicola. And I'm not quite sure exactly what it entails. But I won't say too much more than that. But stand by, everybody. There's something more new stuff coming. Dawn LaValle says, I just made a second order, Mr. You call him? Oh, no, sorry, I see what you mean. I've just made a second order, Mr. Sunbeam watercolours and 2 more ink pads. I think the reason everyone's shopping for the Sunbeam watercolours, are they still on the deal that they were on last night on Cartload? Buy one, get one. If they are, then you need to be grabbing those as well. Would watercolour pencils work with the ink pad, says Rose?
I don't know, I haven't tried them, Rose. I'm trying to think on the top of my head. Yeah, we need to start trying them. We need to start experimenting and get back to you.
Yeah, so if we don't know the answer, maybe if you could just try it for yourself and then let us know.
Yeah, we'll have a little...
That'd be marvellous if you could. Suzanne Dawn says, no! I had to answer the door and I missed the start of this painting. Did Sheena set the paper first or was it dry?
It was already pre-printed. It's in the pre-printed pad. You have to do nothing.
No.
But get your paints out and colour in. It's
That's
brilliant. They're all done for you. So you just get to play.
Hi to Judith Harrison who's joined us. She says, I just started watching. I've been at work, but I ordered the stamp bundle, paint, and the amazing vanishing ink pad.
Hey!
During my lunch break, and I will catch up on the shows over on YouTube over the weekend. And hello also to Betsy Throop Black. Hello, lovely Betsy. Says, I want to be Sheena when I grow up. She is so talented. I want to be Sheena when I grow up too.
Oh. Well, Sheena has never actually grown up.
No, I was going to say.
So, you know, yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of too many grown-up people that work here, actually.
No, I don't want to do that. It's like Neverland, isn't it? It's like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all the Peter Pans and Wendy's of craft, aren't we?
Exactly.
Well, it is. Nicola just says she thinks she's more of a lost boy. Watercolour markers. Would watercolour markers and ink pads work with the ink pad? What says Kendall? Oh, like water reactive, maybe. Is that what you mean?
You know what? If we've got time, do I want to give it a try tonight? Do you want to? If we've got time to do that, Nicola?
What, this evening?
Yeah.
We're a little bit more like Fast and Furious, but I don't see why not.
I can just scribble something on, not even paint it very well, and just scribble it and hit it and see what happens.
Technically, I think as well tonight, if you want to see more of what Sheena's doing, I think one of your demos is going to be one of the demos that people can vote on tonight for their demo of the week. So it'd be between you, Lily and Craig, I think, tonight. We'll do that at the top of the show, everybody, as we did last week. So we'll wait and see.
Alrighty.
Rachel says, I still look for someone more adult than me on a daily basis. It always worries me that I think I'm potentially, because I make a lot of the decisions for like our family and stuff, and it always worries me that, you know, I mean, the kids obviously, but Laura looks to me quite a lot to make decisions, and I'm like, what are you looking at me for?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
What?
I just make it up every day. Like, that's all I've done for 45 years, you know. You just sort of keep...
You see, if you don't have kids, you don't have to ever have to be that person.
Well,
it's great.
That's it. Mine will be disappearing anytime soon with any luck. But George is, well, he's just done his GCSEs, so yeah. 16, he's got at least another 2 years, but you know he's going to be there for another 10 years, isn't he? Of course he is. I don't know if he will go to university though. I don't know if he will. It's probably too much of like hard work for him. And obviously Daisy's only 13, so she'll be around for a while. I love them really. I love them really. Jane says, don't grow up, it's a trap.
Absolutely.
That's a trap. And Cindy Thompson says, I bought the Showstopper, extra ink pads and the Fusion paper pad. Then I came back to order things for my son. It's been a busy day for all sorts of stuff, but particularly this collection. And as I keep saying, if it's that shadow mark pad that you want, I would order that quickly because it's only going to continue to sell. And I think people perhaps who've even bought 2, 3 or 4 of these will come back and buy more because they won't want to be without. Got about 10 minutes left, Sheena.
Sorry, Ben?
We've got about 10 minutes left.
Okay, I'm speed painting. I'm trying to pick it up a little bit here. But can you see how pretty it's looking already? It's all these different greens and colours coming together. It's just totally... Oh, I see I went a bit bigger there. That just expanded. So it doesn't matter. Just if that happens, just make the leaf bigger. Just paint it. So, you know, if you go outside the lines, like somebody said earlier, all you do is just make it bigger. Make it
Oh,
look
yeah.
like it was intended.
Yeah.
Yay, easy.
Question.
Yeah.
What time is the craft event tonight that you've been talking about, Ben? It's 5 o'clock. So where are you, Jill Lucas? Are you UK or are you US? Let me do all the times for you. It's 5 o'clock UK. It is midday Eastern. It is 11 a.m. Central. It is 9 a.m. Pacific. I mean, I say do all the times. That's all the times I've got in front of me. But hopefully you can work it out from there. What time will it be in Australia? So it's going to be 3 o'clock a.m. Australia. Jill, hopefully you're in the US or here in the UK. But it's going to be fun tonight. Let me know, did you watch it last week and are you coming back this week? If you haven't watched it, do come and join. It's just a fun show. It's kind of like Second Chance Sunday meets Play Your Crafts Right meets, well, tonight, Launch Day meets a really, really, really funny show with some really funny guy hosting it. That's what it is. So it's worth a watch, is all I would say.
Alrighty. Well, I don't even know what's coming up. So
And you got a
I'm
star
intrigued.
guest as well tonight with
Bit
the one and
scared.
only Sheena Douglass.
Bit scared, but just saying.
Yeah. You've rehearsed the song and dance routine, haven't you?
Oh yeah, that song and dance, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
And thank you, Ultra, who's in the Netherlands, who says it will be 6 o'clock p.m. in the Netherlands. Thank you. Anyone else in another part of the world, if you can tell me what time it will be where you are, that would be marvellous. I'm guessing if it's 6 o'clock Netherlands, that will be the same time in France, won't it? And Germany. France, Germany, Spain, Portugal.
That's the hardest part of doing a Facebook post, you know, is trying to make out the times. I'm like, oh no. Oh, and my maths, you know what I'm like with numbers. Good grief.
Craig's very good at doing that whenever he puts posts up. He's very good at putting all the different times down. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. You know, thank you, Nicola. She says, I do hear that Craig is #profesh. She is very efficient with what he does. Sometimes I do, sometimes I just think, just Google it. You'll be fine, just stick it in Google. Karen Menezes says, I've been waiting for this. I've ordered the showstopper plus 2 extra ink pads and an extra paint set and pad. Can't wait to receive.
You're going to be busy. Well, you know what? The thing is, though, gift-wise and selling-wise, you're going to have plenty there to keep you going, and that's a great thing.
Yeah.
So,
And you said anyway, like the palettes do last a long time, don't
the
they?
palette's going to
Watercolour
last you
palettes.
absolutely ages. Absolutely ages. Right, so we're nearly done. I didn't do too bad with this, actually. I got more done than... Considering, that's not bad. Speed painting, is it? Well, look at how much we've got done. There's just a few leaves that we managed to not get sorted in the centre, but that could be done later. We can maybe finish it if we've got time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this little bits here are just little suggestions of gypsophilia, darling.
Gypsophilia?
Gypsophilia Douglass. And then we've got those little bits in there. But how pretty is that? Just by using really not too many bits mixing up with a palette, just having fun. Like you say, pick your colours out before you start, your little scrap piece of paper, and just have at it.
Absolutely blooming marvellous. Hasn't it been the best of days so far, and the best of launches? If you are still thinking, shall I, shan't I, there's still opportunity and time for you to do it, but I wouldn't wait too much longer if I were you. Hopefully you've now been convinced as to why you need this set in your life, and if you're not going for the full showstopper, hopefully you're seeing the value for money, certainly in that shadow mark pad, certainly in your watercolour pad as well. I'm thinking if you are picking and choosing, you're probably going to go one of these, aren't you? You're probably going to get multiples of your ink pads, and then potentially you're going to be throwing in some of the stamps too. If you've already got your own watercolor paint palette, of course you can use that. But listen, if you are kind of starting off, or if you just want the whole shebang, the Showstopper is definitely the way to go, because you get the full set of beautiful stamps. I'll show you all those again actually, so that you can see all the designs that you're going to get. All of these are included within the Showstopper. You of course get your pad, you're going to get your mist, you're going to get your shadow mark pad, paint, mixing palette, and of course all of the brushes. But these are all of those fantastic stamps that you're going to get. Wildflower Trio. These again are all available for you individually, so if you want to go down that line, again mix and match with your stamps, you can. That one's your foliage fillers. Beautiful, this one, and I think individually very, very popular, is the Radiant Rose. This next one, again, I would imagine lots of you grabbing the classic Chrysanthemum. Oh yes. You've got the Daisy. That one comes with the Wild Rose, and again, love the fact that you've got the little titles of the florals that come with them in stamp form too. Then you're going to be getting your Peony set. And then lastly is all of your beautiful sentiments. So lots of love, blooming beautiful, happy birthday, enjoy every moment. Take time to smell the roses, and many more that I just can't quite read. All the flowers of tomorrow are the seeds of today.
It is true.
I like that.
True that. True that.
My love for you blossoms every day.
Oh.
And she's like a wildflower, beautiful, wild and free.
Oh.
£112 is your platinum price, $144 if you're in the US and you're platinum. That, of course, is free shipping. That's how you go for everything. That's how you get the biggest saving. But feel free to pick and choose and make up your own mini bundles. Sheena, thank you so much for a fantabulous show. It's been marvellous. You must be delighted as to how popular this has been.
I am. I'm over the moon. Thank you, everybody, so much. I'm so pleased you've been loving it, because I've been beyond excited to bring this to you, for sure.
Sandy says, can we get a 24-hour Sheena painting channel?
Ah, right, that'd be great, yeah.
Sheena TV.
Sheena TV.
Yeah, coming soon. Thank you so much, everybody. Be back with us in an hour's time. So tonight, live at 5, we've got Friday Night Live, we've got fun, we've got games, we've got your chance to vote for your Demo of the Week rerun. We've also got our Friday night faves, so the gallery, where you will hopefully see, if you sent in a card recently, a picture of your card. You'll need to be watching, because you can obviously only claim the bonus points which are up for grabs in that gallery if you see your card. So make sure you join us for that. And like we said, chances to win vouchers as well. Team Facebook this side versus Team YouTube. Boo, with Sheena. I genuinely don't know what the game is tonight, although I think someone did tell me, but I can't remember. I'm old. So a fun game coming up, and lots more. So do make sure you join us in an hour's time. Until then, get to the checkouts. You know the drill. You know what you need to be doing, stocking up on all these fantastic new goodies. And Sheena and I will catch you back here in an hour's time for Friday Night Live. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you at 5 o'clock. Bye for now.